right one. Well, first things first, I just want to say a couple thank yous. First, thank you to Lucinda and Chris for, again, putting this incredible event together. Guys, to try and fill Chris's footsteps is the toughest thing for me. He's my brother, he's my business partner, he's my shoulder to cry on, he's the one that calms me down when I spit flames, because the fury part of my surname is a real thing. And what he does at a level of leadership is something I've never seen before. It's the 0.0001% of people on the planet. And he was absolutely right. When he first shared this with me, I laughed at him. And it's the only thing I feel guilty about today. He's laughing at me when he showed this to me. Guys, what this product has done for me, I want to cry. It's how I start my talk every time I'm allowed on stage. It's completely shifted my heart. It's made me a better dad. It's set me free financially. And it's all because of George. Now, that's the third person I just want to say thank you to. I'm not the easiest person to work with, but I love what I do. And George is Papa Bear. When I get a little angry, I get a hold of George, and he's like, he takes it in, and then he just says a sentence, and he calms me down. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the day, let's go. And he's actually the reason why I took this very seriously 6 months ago, because he went SPD, and I was like, oh my goodness, I dropped the ball. So George, I just want to say thank you for being persistent with Chris, because I would not be here, and for the unwavering support that you give, not just to me, but every single person sitting here. Now, and by the way, he flew in from Mallorca. Guys, I mean, come on. It shows me how serious you are about carrying on with this journey. So let's quickly just, before I get started, just talk about this product for a second. Guys, aren't you excited about what this product does for people? My goodness. Guys, 20 months in, I'm still waiting to see what this can't do. I'm still waiting to see the limit. That's just the product. That's just what it can do for your health. Then let's quickly look at the business side. There's also no limit there. The only limit is you. Now, there's an underlying posture that I heard here today from every speaker that walked on stage. Guys, it's almost like a level of belief and a confidence that you can smell and taste. Chris walks into a room, and it's like, he hasn't even said anything, and he raises the whole frequency of the room. And that's what this is about. You need to get so serious about this that you have a posture. Guys, you can put me in front of a neurologist, and I'll get him to listen to me. Why? Because my good friend Lindy's mom had a severe stroke. She should have died on the spot. And she's normal 60 days later. Neurologists don't see that. And the only reason my belief level is where it's at is because of what I've seen. So step one, I want to just get excited about being here. The fact that we've got another room full of people that's keen to get the work out there, you guys should give yourself a round of applause, because that's step one. This is the most exciting thing that exists. The way we can shift people's lives is so intense. 20 months later, I still haven't seen the limit of it. Now, how do you develop a posture? By just doing it. So, I don't want to get into too much detail of my story, but today I want to give you a tip that I got from Eric Wall. 5 tips, actually. Guys, I'm a digital nomad for 5 years. Everything I learned online through YouTube and courses. The next video I'm about to play to you is the most exciting thing I've ever seen. I watched it like 5 times in a row. I sent it to Chris. He was like, what did you just send me? And that is how to create unlimited leads. What does that sound like? Doesn't that excite you guys? So that for me is step one. So Chris, I hope that's ready to go there. So before I press it, there's now a time for you to get your pen and piece of paper out, and take some notes, it's now. I'm about to show you the formula to never run out of leads ever again. And then I'm going to touch quickly on how we're going to communicate with those people. Are you guys excited? Yes, let's go.
Welcome to Network Marketing Pro. My name is Eric Worre, and this week we're going to talk about 5 steps to unlimited prospects. I remember when I first got involved in the network marketing profession, I was so stressed out about asking myself the question every single day, do I know anybody? Do I know anybody? And since I was so young, just 22 years old, most of the people I knew didn't have any money. They were not really thinking entrepreneurially. They were thinking about trying to get to the weekend. And because of that, I made my little written list, and I went out to my list with a lot of anxiety and not much skill, and I started to drain the list. My best prospects said no, and I started to go down the list. And as my list got smaller and smaller, my anxiety got higher and higher. You see, what I thought in network marketing was that the number of people you had on the list and the quality of those people that you had the day you joined, in other words, this database of relationships, that was going to determine your success or failure in network marketing. If you had a good list, a good group of people, good contacts, good relationships, then you're going to have a huge business in network marketing. And if you didn't, or you lived in a small town, or you just, you hadn't developed that skill yet, you weren't that social, maybe you're more introverted like me. If you didn't have that big list of contacts, then your chances were slim to none. And what I've learned over the course of the last 28 years is that's not true. Successful people in network marketing look at finding prospects as a skill. Most of the people that they involve in their business, they met after they got involved in network marketing. As a matter of fact, ask your leadership, people who are high earners in your company, how many of the people that they personally have sponsored into their business, how many of them did they know prior to getting involved in the business, and how many did they meet after they got involved in the business? What you're going to see is the vast majority of those people involved and sponsored into network marketing were met after that person got involved with their company. In other words, their past list was not the key to their success. It was their skill moving forward at developing their prospect list, to developing relationships with those people that mattered the most. So today I'm going to give you 5 steps so you have unlimited prospects, kind of a short course on never running out of people to talk to about your network marketing product or opportunity, okay? The first step on the list, which you may have already started, is to create what I like to call an active candidate list. This isn't just a list of 20 people you scrawl on the back of an envelope. This isn't 40 people that you write down on your legal pad. This is every single person you know or have ever met that you could ever remember, as if you're getting paid $1,000 a person for every person you were putting on the list. How many could you put on the list? And there's lots of strategies to jog your memory and to remember the people that you know and start there, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to empty our minds out on paper. As best we can. We're going to take it out of our mind and we're going to put it on paper as best we can and as comprehensive as we can. And I've got a free resource for you today. I created it a few years back. It's called the Ultimate Memory Jogger. It's a workbook that I'm going to give you a link to download for free. And in that workbook, I give you some training on finding prospects. I give you some scripts on what to say when you talk to prospects. And I give you a huge list of categories to help jog your memory and think about the resources that you have and the people that you could add to your list, okay? The link for that is networkmarketingpro.com/memory jogger. networkmarketingpro.com/memory jogger. It's my gift to you. I hope you take advantage of it because it's really a great tool. You can download it, use that as a resource to start with step number 1, creating that active candidate list. And the reason why I call it active is step number 2 is to constantly expand your list. What do I mean by that? It's not just who you know today. It's who you're going to meet. It's who you're going to run into. It's who you're going to connect with. Constantly expand your list. Set yourself up to a discipline. And here's one of the best disciplines I can, as far as strategies I can give you. 2 a day. You add at least 2 people to your active candidate list. You might meet those people online. You might find those people from some social group. You might remember somebody. You might bump into somebody walking the dog. Somebody might give you great service at a restaurant, wherever it is. Friend them up, connect with them on Facebook, whatever. They don't have to be prospected the moment that you meet them. They just have to build a connection and start to build a relationship. So you can start to build trust, you can start to build belief, and then when the time is appropriate, you can share with them your product and your opportunity. So step number 2 is to constantly expand your list, okay? Step number 3 is to raise your awareness. What do I mean by that? What I mean is this. When you get out there in the world, a lot of times we run into so many people that could be incredible for our business, would be natural product users for our product or service, and we don't even see them. Our awareness is so shut down. Our social circle is so locked that we're not even aware that the person who gave us good service at the restaurant, we didn't even look them in the eye. We didn't even find out what their name was. You know, the person who gave us great service selling us shoes, we didn't even say hello. We just barked some orders, we got our shoes and we left. We're constantly presented with opportunities to make a connection with other people in the world. And it's your job to raise your awareness, expand your mind, and get outside of your tiny little circle of 5 or 6 friends and your family members. And start to expand your awareness. It's really a key skill set. You see the top earners in network marketing, they're expanding their awareness. They're always looking for opportunities. It's not they're not predators. They're not handing out business cards at funerals, right? They're constantly raising their awareness to connect with another human being and build a relationship. And not even so much because they want to get that person to join their business, because they collect friends. You know, they live a big life. And as an introverted person, I've been an introverted person my whole life. As an introverted person, I have to remind myself to get out of my own head and to be a citizen of the world. I have to remind myself to raise my awareness that there are other people that I could easily make a connection with and hopefully help and serve in some way. So step number 3 is raise your awareness. So the first 3 steps so far: build an active candidate list, constantly expand that list, and raise your awareness. Now, step number 4 is another mental mindset. And that's as you are looking at the world, as you're building your list, as you're expanding it, as you're raising your awareness, don't ever prejudge. It's so easy for us to say, this person is not a candidate because they don't have any money. This person is not a candidate because they have too much money, they're too successful. This person's not a candidate because they're busy doing other things. This person wouldn't want the product because whatever reason you think. You don't know what's going on in another person's world. You just don't. You could have met people, you could have talked to people already in the last 7 days that you have totally pushed outside of your circle of possibility of even being a prospect. And yet, they may be praying tonight, searching for an opportunity to be able to latch onto and sink their teeth into and go to work with. You don't know. You don't know if that rich person is bored out of their mind. You don't know if that person who works in the corporate world is looking for a challenge. You don't know if a person who looks successful is stressing out about not being able to pay for one of their kids' college. You don't know what's going on. You can't see inside of the heart and mind of another person. You have to give them an opportunity. So it's really important that you never prejudge. I have a cousin, and his name is Steve, and he was a pastor, he was a preacher. He traveled around and he was preaching. And I never even put him and he had some brothers that were involved in ministry work. And so all these cousins, I never even thought, not once, to talk to them about network marketing. Back in the early days, never even thought about it. Never even crossed my mind. Well, guess what? They were looking for opportunity. They were tired of being on the road and doing what they were doing. Even though they loved the ministry, they were tired of that particular aspect of what was going on in their life. And they joined a network marketing company without me even knowing. And guess what? Today, they're a top 10 earner in a $1 billion company. And I never even, I totally and completely prejudged them. And how much do you think that cost in income and possibility just for me? I promise you, you have a situation like that. You have somebody you think is too cool for this, somebody you think is too successful for this, or not successful enough. You never know when a person is ready to make a change and is looking for opportunity. Our job is not to convince people to do things. Our job is to give people an opportunity. And you can't give people an opportunity if you prejudge what they're going to do with it. So that's number 4. Number 5 is really important, especially if you're a person who has your little routines. Number 5 is network on purpose. Network on purpose. That means join some new groups, expand your horizons, join a networking group in your local community and serve people within that community and get to know people. Volunteer for charities and causes. You can't believe the number of people and influential, powerful people that you can meet by volunteering and helping raise money for charities, etc., working within your local community. If you have hobbies, expand those hobbies. Join some social groups. Join a new health club. Get out of your house and get connected with your local community. And meet the people there. Connect with the people there. Network with the people there. You'll build friendships, you'll build relationships, and you will have natural ability to be able to talk to them about your product or opportunity. If you don't get out of your house, if you just sit there all day long, it's difficult to be a citizen of the world. Get out there and network on purpose. So what are our 5 strategies? Strategy number 1 is start today with an active candidate list. I hope at the end of this video you download the special Ultimate Memory Jogger workbook that will help you create that active candidate list and help you with this process. There's great training in there. It's absolutely free. My gift to you, networkmarketingpro.com/memory jogger. Okay? So your active candidate list is number 1. Number 2, constantly expand that list. Number 3, raise your awareness. Pay attention to what's going on in the world. Number 4, never prejudge as you're building your prospect pool of people to talk to. Never prejudge. That's not your job. And number 5, network on purpose.
Guys, how incredible was that? Now let me ask you something. Are you going to apply that? Because it means nothing if you don't apply it. There's my beautiful friend Sandy Ashfield. I love telling her story. If somebody wasn't aware that she was limping, she would not be sitting here. Nobody knew her. She was walking like this. Like, here's a little patch. I'm going to stick it there. What happened? Look at where she's now. Start being aware of your surroundings. That for me is very, very important. The last thing there that he mentioned, start having hobbies and get out there. Literally. Get out of your house. Get off your phone. Get out there. Start meeting people. So the next couple steps, and now I'm running out of time again, always under pressure when I'm on stage. Let me tell you. Let me see if I can wrap this up quick. You need to connect with people properly. How do you do that? By asking questions. In my last conversation here, when I was on stage, 3 fundamental questions you ask someone. How's it going? Keep quiet, let them tell you. Secondly, how's everybody's health? You'll be surprised at what people tell you. People are the sickest they've ever been. Last question, how's it going at work or how's business? People are struggling. What do we have within X39? We've got the solution. So how do you connect with people properly? I'm just going to do this quick. Be sincere. Be sincere. Eric Ward did a training this week where he was start 100 conversations. And I challenge you to do that. Don't talk about the business. Don't talk about the product. Just reach out to 100 people. You'll get better at communicating. And then you won't be surprised at what people will tell you, if like, how's everybody's health? Oh my goodness, my mom's got this. Oh, it's not a coincidence that I got a hold of you. That's the in right there. So keep it casual. Sometimes, in some cases, you can use social media. See what's happening with that person online so you can connect with them better. Maybe the first couple calls is just to connect with them properly. I get so tired of people saying, I'm not getting a response. They're sending messages out. They haven't spoken to that person in 3 years. Of course you're going to offend them. Connect with a couple of the people that you care about. We don't need many people in this business to really crush it. Not many. So, very important in this process, have a serving mentality. We're not selling anything here. There's a posture in Chris's voice when he speaks to somebody about this. I'm trying to match it. I don't think I ever will. I'm trying, let me tell you. But that takes time. And it happens by speaking to enough people, by plugging into what we have, the trainings, like you guys are here today, the online trainings. You need to plug in so you can raise your belief level. That creates the posture. And get out there and start speaking to people. Now, I just quickly want to touch on the personal voice note. It's 3 minutes left. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try. When I did my first universal voice note, that kicked the door open. I'll never forget that moment. I was in an online opportunity. I ran ads online, and I had like over 100 people that contacted me. And I had to get a hold of them very quickly, because it's like when they get a hold of you, you got to like respond. So I was like, let me do voice notes. And I started hitting the voice notes. And I think I recorded about 50 of them. And then I recorded that one voice note. Guys, it was the chosen one. When I tell you, I recorded that voice note, and in that moment that I recorded, I was like, wow, this is the one that's going to kick the door open. And if you're doing the process of really connecting with people properly, and you record your 30-second or 60-second voice note that explains what we're doing here without telling them what the product is or what the company is, and you get good at that, guys, your closing rate with people will go through the roof. I sent this voice note out to people after building a bit of rapport. They wanted to sign up. They didn't even know what it was. I was like, oh my goodness, I felt like I discovered fire. And I've been teaching this universal voice note over and over, and I'm not going to tell you what that one is, but get your elevator pitch correctly. Sometimes you only have 30 seconds with people. Get so good at recording this voice note that you can personalize it to people that you care about. And that is what we are doing here. So what do you send to people after you've now built some rapport and you now want to start drip feeding them? We've all heard this drip feeding them. Every now and again, you're going to send them something. Let's start there. The first thing I would send to somebody is the 3-minute voice, the 3-minute overview. It's really well done. Now, in this case, Chris says we can send it immediately, the next one, after this one. Don't worry, we're going to share this actual PDF with you, and you'll get these links. Then, this is at info.com. Guys, in many cases, I've built rapport properly with people. I've sent that voice note, and I just send them that website. 2 weeks later, they phone me, they're ready to sign up. There's so much info there, it's absolutely incredible. Always share that. And then a little pop-up. I think she's the world's most famous dog. I love sharing this with people. Everybody loves pets. And I mean, just building rapport correctly, coming from a place of serving, not trying to sell, and then sharing that little doggy's recovery, the right person is in. There's no closing there. He's like, send me a link, I want to register. Then, if it's still not happening, this video, oh my goodness. The first time I watched that, I just shook my head. I got even more excited, which is impossible. So excited about this, it bubbles out of me. And then, the full training we've done here, it's actually 14 steps. So I want to tell you a quick story on the last person that I signed up. So it's somebody from church. And guys, I don't know if you've been seeing, today you can't see it, but my hair's been growing. When I tell you my hair's been growing, I haven't had hair since the 90s. And at church, they've been picking this up. So I shaved it off today because I looked like a little bit of a mad scientist. Just wanted to clean up nice. So somebody at church was like, I remember you talked about this little patch. What's going on with your hair? So I was like, I told you 8 months ago. He's like, please send me some info. You know what I sent him? This is it, info.com. And I left him. Guys, I'm not hard up for business. I don't need you in my business. I want you, but you're not going to feel like I need you. They must come to me. So I send him, this is it, info, and I leave him. 3 days. He's like, send me something else. What did I send him? David Schmidt's interview at the last convention. I left him for a week. 1 week. He phones me up, he's like, send me a link. And that's the reality. Don't be hard up. Don't just throw stuff at people. There's so much amazing content. The last thing I would mention here is follow-up. And in closing, guys, this is the most important part. I have a person here today in my team that has 500 people to follow up with. It's the 80-20 rule. She phones 500 people, she's going to sign up 100. Now, let me give you a statistic. 2% of people buy on first contact. 2%. 98% buys after second, third, eighth, 100th, doesn't matter. And 45% of people don't follow up, so they're losing out on 98% of the business. It's the most important part. One of the biggest networkers I signed up, very good friend of mine, 19 months, guys. Just been sending him a testimony every month. Not hounding him, not phoning him. I've already made the contact. 19 months later. Also, out the blue, he phones me up, send me a link. He came in at platinum. Boom. No closing, no selling, no showing him a presentation. Just follow up. Guys, I really hope I brought some value. We do a lot more trainings in detail. Please plug in. Get excited about what we're doing here. We are changing people's lives every day, and it's our obligation to get the word out there. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time.